What do you do when your quadratic equation does not look like a quadratic equation? Let's find out. Hi, welcome to Algebra Examples. I'm Dr. Finch. I have a PhD in mathematics and over 20 years in math education. Thank you to everyone who sent in questions. If you have an algebra question that you'd like answered, please send it to purplefinchmath@gmail.com. All right, our question for today is asking us to solve the equation by using the quadratic formula. In this formula, or in this equation, we have 4 minus 1 over x minus 1 over x squared is equal to 0, and it looks ugly. All of a sudden, we've got x's in the denominator of a fraction, and we're used to not having to deal with many fractions when we have quadratic equations. So let's get this to look more normal and more natural, and then we will put the quadratic equation or the quadratic formula to use. When we have an equation like this, what we can do is we can get rid of those x's in the denominator. And the way that we're going to do that is we are going to start off, I'm going to do this in two parts, but you can do this in one part if you want. I'm going to start multiplying both sides by x. Remember, if you do something to one side of your equation, you have to do it to the other side of your equation. In this case, on the right-hand side, anything times 0 is 0, so it really doesn't matter as much. So it makes it easy for us to do this. So we are going to distribute that x, and we get 4 times x minus 1 over x times x minus 1 over x squared times x. We simplify that a little bit more. Notice that our x in the denominator and the x that it lives outside of that are going to cancel out, and we get minus 1. And in our last term here, our squared cancels out, and we still have 1x in the denominator that survives. So let's get rid of that one. We're going to do the same trick. We're going to multiply both sides by x. And again, on our right-hand side, we're multiplying by 0. X times 0 is always 0. When we distribute our x, we get 4x squared minus x minus, and here we got 1 over x times x. Those things cancel each other out. And we are left with a minus 1 that survives. Whew, that looks a lot better. So this looks like what we want it to look like, a regular quadratic equation. And now we can use our quadratic formula. Before we do that, let's figure out our A, our B, and our C. Remember, our A value is always the first coefficient of our quadratic equation. So A in this case is 4. Our B value is the number that we see in front of our second term in our equation. So this is going to be a -1. And our C is the constant or the last term in our equation, and that is also a -1. Our formula, and you can go look up the song for this later if you want to, is -b plus or minus the square root of b squared minus 4ac all over 2a. So here we've got plugging in our numbers. We have a -1 plus or minus the square root of our b, which is -1 quantity squared, minus 4. Our A is 4, our C is -1 over 2 times our A value, which is 4. So this is what x is equal to. Whew, double negative turns into a positive, so we have a +1 to start off with. Our -1, when we square it, that negative sign goes away. We get Over here we have a double negative, so that's going to turn into a positive. 4 times 4 is 16. And in our denominator, we get 2 times 4, which is 8. Let's clean this up just a little bit further. We end up with 1 plus or minus the square root of 17 over 8. Ooh, so this is about as far as we're going to get. It looks a little bit ugly, but it is a solution. Thank you for listening. If you have a question, again, please don't hesitate to email me at purplefinchmath@gmail.com.